There may be a feeling in the market that budget finance minister makes some announcement about banking licenses, and if there are limited banking licenses, there can be more number, because earlier many people thought that there will be only 3, 4 or 5 new licenses. But if they come up with 2 different types of banking licenses, one for MFIs and NBFCs, then there can be many more. But one has to wait for the finance minister what he says, and then also what RBI comes up with in terms of regulatory guidelines in the time frame. At least optically, finance minister can always, I think it's unlikely that he will give fiscal deficit of more than 5% next year, because 13th Finance Commission had set out a roadmap and fiscal deficit was to be 4.5% by FY12. But what he can do, there are various assumptions that he has to work with. For instance, oil prices or disinvestment, and there are certain non-tax revenue receipts. So he can play with that, and at least in the budget, he is unlikely to give it beyond 4.7 or 4.8%. See, even if you look at last year, our plan and non-plan expenditure is higher by almost 1 percentage points of GDP. And if you exclude the 3G receipt, then fiscal deficit is already beyond 6%. So what typically in an environment like this, finance minister will do is, in the budget, he will not announce fiscal deficit of more than 5%. But one really needs to watch out various components and whether how practical that is, and what are the key risk factors such as oil prices, commodity inflation, all those other factors. See, this year FY11, let's not forget, tax revenue was very buoyant. It was way beyond government expectations. We had 3G receipts, which again were beyond the optimistic expectations as well. And despite that, we have ended with 4.8%. And if you exclude 3G, then it's around 6% fiscal deficit. So I think one of the key challenges which finance minister has is to have fiscal prudence, have discipline, cut down on non-plan expenditure. But it's unlikely, because next year is going to be the last year of this term of the government, and then we'll have elections. This year we have elections in 5 states. So I think he'll have to play with populist measures and then some jugglery with numbers so that the numbers don't look optically bad.